And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
When I got Argent, I was really surprised that there was an expansion for it, because the game Argent already feels like there's 4 expansions inside the box. More stuff? Now you guys know I'm a big expansion guy, but did we need more? Well, of course, I can't help but looking and playing with the more stuff. This is a bunch of modules which you can add to the base game. If you don't know how to play Argent, go watch that review. But if you want to see more stuff that can be added, here's what's in it. The first thing the game does is it adds a 6th player. Just put that out of your mind now. I can't imagine anybody wanting to play this with 6 players. It already is too long with 5. But it also does add a new color, orange. Hooray, orange. And so this game comes with lots of orange things. It comes with a new orange starting mage with their spells that they have. It comes with new orange mages that can go out on the board. Now these are techno mages. You can either put these guys into a room that has another player's mage, pay 3 gold to mark a vote that they've marked, which is an okay thing. But rather, I like when you place these guys, you can pay 3 gold to gain a research. Now, I don't know that the orange guys are going to be as in high demand as others. I still think I would pick green, maybe. I'd pick purple, green, and blue probably over them. But hey, it's cool to have another color, and I'm glad that it's in there because it affects all the other cards in the game with spells and marks and so on. There's another voter now, the most technomancy for orange cards, but there's also the Archmage. The visiting Archmage is visiting, and this brings in the Archmage staff that's in the game. Now, a player can get this staff. You can see there's a spot to put a mage here. You gain control of the staff at the end of the round. A mage here loses all mage powers, which can put you at some disadvantage. But when you have this, you can cast a spell from your office, even one that you have not researched, without paying any mana, which makes it pretty powerful. And at the end of the game, if this person's in the game, and you don't know if they are or not, well, maybe you do if you've used your marks, they will give their vote to the person who has this here, the Force of Magic, the Archmage's staff. There's also more rooms that are added to this one, so a research archive here, a university tavern, another place to get supporters. I like this one here. You can sell consumables for either mana or IP or gold. Here you can get temporary workers who will work for you for a time. The laboratory, I like this one a lot, because whatever color you send here is the reward it gives you. So for example, you send a blue one here, then you can heal or move a mage. If you send the red one, you get 2 mana. If you send a green one, you get gold. The orange one, you get to buy something. And if you go to the top spot, you can do that one twice. The laboratory has different rewards on the other side too. There, the blue one gives you mana, etc. And I think this is cool. This is one I would try to use very often. There's also one called the Synthesis Workshop. And when this one's here, you can get these really powerful synthesis items. And you can do that by, here, you have to give a treasure, a supporter, and 2 mana to do that. So you're giving up a lot of stuff to do it. But these cards, you can just go through them. Like this one here gives you a fast action. That gives you 2 mana. This one here, you can wound 2 mages in the same room. Here you can shadow. You can pay 1 mana to shadow any space, even your own mage or an empty spot. So there's all sorts of these. These are really cool items, and it adds, something new to the game. Another module that the game has are scenarios. And each scenario comes with its own round cards. Like, for example, this is a political struggle. So this tells you how to set things up. And then each round of the game will have certain things that work with this scenario. So, for example, in the 5th round here, there's nothing going on. But in the 3rd round, at the end of the round, each player gains a mark. So in this, at the end of the game, voters on the same row as the face-up voter with more support are worth 2 votes instead of 1. So each of these has kind of a different thing. And there's the Talismans of Magic. There's the Key to the University. There's Assassins, where voters are getting killed. The Wells of Souls. Probably my favorite one is the Talismans of Magic. And in this one, It's possible for cards to get flipped over, and so you go from the A side to the B side when you're going into different rooms. These are kind of cool, but they add even more rules and different things going on already to a fairly busy game. I don't see them being used very often, but if you want to change up or how the game's played, some overarching rules to it, here they are. This expansion also comes with 16 bell cards, and instead of putting out the same bell cards every time, here each round you shuffle the cards and you're going to put out some equal to the number of players, and so they all do different things. Wound a mage, gain an intelligence, gain a gold and a buy, take an extra place a mage action after the last bell tower offering card is taken, gain a wisdom, gain a mark, a mana and a research, return a supporter from your discard pile to your office, or gain a gold, draw a vault card, swap a mage, move a mage to an open spot, swap 2 mages, get a temporary merit badge, steal 2 gold from someone else, get a secret supporter, return a consumable from your discard to your office, or get a gold, or banish a mage. And so this is, in my opinion, the best module of the set because it adds some variety. And yeah, I know the game really needed variety, but the bell cards, when there's different ones out there, you will look at them and actually consider taking them sometime because you want the very specific things that they have. And finally, after these, there's just more stuff. There's more treasures. There are more supporters, mostly a lot of orange ones because those are needed to even out the supporters, and more spells of different types, but mostly orange spells, so that those can be added, again, to have a good spread. And you're never going to run out of stuff in this game at this point. This expansion is by no means necessary. In fact, I would recommend don't get it until you've played Argent a lot. Sure, the extra spells and extra items and orange mages and the bell cards and the scenarios, that's cool, there's tons of stuff. But I think you should play the original game for a while because there's so much in it. And then get this when you're getting bored of it, which again, I have a hard time imagining. That's not to say this isn't a good expansion. I like modular expansions that have lots of little modules that you can add. It's just that this one has, the game already has a lot of stuff. As it says, in here, I think the bell cards are the coolest thing. I like them a lot. I like the orange mages, but I could take or leave them. I think the Archmage staff is a pretty cool addition. I'll usually use that in most games. The scenarios are okay. The more stuff is something that I will add. And I like the new rooms quite a bit, actually. Some of the new rooms I'll use more often than some of the ones from the base set. So it's a solid expansion. Wasn't needed, but still good. Dice Tower Judgment. Approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Türe zu!
Good.